Imagine if Nezuko never got turned into a demon. What if, instead, she became a demon slayer alongside Tanjiro? Do you think they could take down Muzan together? And more than that, could Nezuko awaken sun breathing? But here's the real question. How would this story play out? After all, Tanjiro only became a demon slayer to find a cure for his sister. Stick with me, and I'll break down this alternate version of the story. But before we dive in, hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. They say if you don't, Muzan might show up under your bed. I wouldn't risk it. Now, let's dive into how this new storyline would unfold. It all starts when Tanjiro comes back home after selling charcoal, only to find his family slaughtered. But surprisingly, Nezuko and his mom are nowhere to be found. Desperate, Tanjiro follows the trail of blood and stumbles upon Tomioka, who's comforting Nezuko, still in shock. What happened was something straight out of a nightmare. As Tanjiro looks around, he sees his mom disintegrating on the ground. Nezuko then explains what went down. That night, she had gone out to find a plant to help cure her younger brother's cold. When she returned, she found the family dead, but her mom was still alive, just barely. Nezuko tried to get her to a doctor, but something weird happened. Her mom started attacking her, as if she was possessed. That's when Tomioka showed up and saved Nezuko, ending her mom's suffering. With tears in his eyes, Tanjiro breaks down after hearing the story. Tomioka, with regret, explains that there's a demon out there turning people into Oni, and his mom was just another victim. Determined to stop other families from suffering the same fate, Tanjiro decides he wants to become a demon slayer, just like Tomioka, to protect his sister and others. Nezuko, just as determined, declares that she wants to fight alongside Tanjiro. Seeing the siblings resolve, Tomioka sends them to train with Urokodaki, marking the start of a new journey for Tanjiro and Nezuko. During their training, Tanjiro and Nezuko give it their all, looking out for each other and strengthening their bond. They learn to fight both solo and as a team, developing some seriously impressive skills. To complete their training, they both have to slice through a massive boulder, but after days of frustration, they have a vision of Sabito and Mikomo. Here's where the story gets epic. While Tanjiro faces off against Sabito, Nezuko takes on Mikomo. They showcase their new skills to the fullest, and in the end, they join forces to slice the boulder and across, Tanjiro cutting vertically, while Nezuko slices horizontally. With their training complete, the siblings head off to the final selection, where they face the challenges together, protecting each other every step of the way. When they come across the demon that killed Sabito and Mikomo, they take it down with ease, combining their water-breathing techniques. From there, they go on their first mission, defeating the demon sibling, who are no match for the Kamado duo. Soon after, Tanjiro and Nezuko encounter Muzan, who freaks out when he sees Tanjiro's Hanafuda earrings and flees, turning people into demons to protect his fake family. They then meet Tamayo and face off against the demons Suzumaru and Yahaba. This time, Nezuko plays an active role in the battle, and together, they take down both enemies. Here's where a crucial point in the story shifts. In the original plot, Tanjiro collects the blood of the upper moons to send to Tamayo in hopes of curing Nezuko. But in this version, that's not necessary since Nezuko is still human. The journey continues, and they meet Zenitsu, who quickly falls head over heels for Nezuko. Later, they encounter Inosuke and defeat Kyogai, moving on to Mount Natagumo, where Tanjiro uses sun breathing for the first time. Will that happen again? Once more, Zenitsu stays behind, while Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Nezuko face off against the Spider Demon. Tanjiro takes down Mother Spider, but Father Spider Demon proves to be a tough challenge, even for the three of them. Here's where the story shifts again. Tanjiro still needs to move forward to fight Rui, so Nezuko steps up to help Inosuke. Could they actually defeat the demon? The answer is yes. Before Tomioka arrives to rescue Inosuke, Nezuko distracts Father Spider Demon, while Inosuke tries to cut off his head. Despite his valiant effort, Inosuke's sword breaks because the demon's neck is just too tough. Even so, he manages to wear the demon down, and Nezuko seizes the moment to deliver the final blow. Exhausted and injured, Inosuke stays behind to protect the group while they wait for backup. Nezuko charges towards Tanjiro, who's barely hanging on in his fight against Rui. This time, Nezuko doesn't get trapped and manages to step in before Tanjiro gets fatally injured. But how does he dodge that deadly blow? Oh, the answer lies in a crazy twist. Nezuko and Inosuke took down Father Spider Demon before Tomioka even showed up, which lets Nezuko arrive just in time to help Tanjiro. Even though she's worn out from the earlier fight, she pushes herself to the limit, but still ends up getting captured by Rue. Seeing his sister in danger, Tanjiro unlocks Hinakami Kagura and goes all out on Rue, slicing through his neck and saving Nezuko. But, as we know, Tomioka still shows up to deliver the final blow to Rue, making sure he's fully defeated. But hold up, could Nezuko also awaken Hinakami Kagura? Stick around to find out, because the way this story unfolds is full of surprises. During the Hashira meeting, Tomioka recognizes the potential in Tanjiro and Nezuko, and unlike in the original storyline, all the Hashiras warm up to the Kamadu sibling, without the usual tension or conflicts that Sanemi or Abanai might cause. Both of them are accepted into the Demon Slayer Corps with no pushback. In the mission with Rengoku on the Mugen train, Inu puts everyone to sleep, and with no Nezuko to wake them up, it's up to Rengoku to snap out of it and protect the passengers. Here's where things get interesting. Nezuko, realizing her brother is stronger, decides he should move forward while she and Rengoku handle protecting the passenger. With this new dynamic, Tanjiro and Inosuke team up to take down Inu, and when they finally cut through his neck, the train derails, and Akaza shows up. Rengoku fights bravely to protect the Kamadu siblings, but still meets his tragic end, with neither of them able to help the beloved flame Hashira. Back from the mission, the Kamadu siblings ramp up their training for the next mission with Yuzui. This time, with Nezuko in the group, one of them doesn't need to disguise themselves as a woman, making things way easier. In the entertainment district, Zenitsu and Inosuke take on Daki first, and soon Tanjiro and Nezuko arrive to back them up. When Daki starts overpowering the Kamadu sibling, Tanjiro unlocks Sun Breathing and launches a fierce attack, but before he can slice through her neck, he wears himself out and becomes vulnerable. That's when Nezuko steps in to save him, and instead of her berserk transformation from the original story, Nezuko awakens Hinakami Kagura. She attacks Daki with incredible ferocity, slicing through her neck before Yuzui, which triggers Jutaro's arrival. But with Tanjiro and Nezuko both drained from using Sun Breathing, Jutaro quickly tries to take them out. However, Yuzui shows up just in time to save the sibling, leveling the playing field. While Tanjiro and Yuzui face off against Jotaro, Zenitsu, Inosuke, and Nezuko team up against Daki. In the end, Tanjiro awakens his Demon Slayer mark, and together, they manage to defeat the two demons, slicing their heads off simultaneously. Even so, the victory comes at a high cost. Tenjin, poisoned by Jotaro, succumbs to the venom, as Nezuko, being human, can't heal him. Tenjin's loss leaves a deep scar, and Tanjiro continues to surpass Nezuko in terms of skills. But will the day come when the Kamadu siblings stand as equals? Only time will tell. In the Swordsmith Village arc, Tanjiro searches for a new sword, and with him are Mitsuri, Jinya, and Michiro. But the peace doesn't last long as the village is attacked by demons. Michiro is thrown out of the room and ends up facing Gyako, while Mitsuri arrives just in time to save the villager. Tanjiro and Nezuko, using Sun Breathing, face off against Hantengu's clones together, leading to Zohakuten's appearance. Mitsuri steps in to help the Slayers as they search for the real Hantengu. This time, it's Nezuko who finds him and tries to deliver the final blow, but Hantengu's neck is too tough, and they miss the opportunity on the first attempt. On the second try, Nezuko finds Hantengu again, and, seeing him chasing the villagers, is consumed by intense rage. In the heat of the moment, she awakens her Demon Slayer mark and, with fierce determination, rushes in to deliver the final blow to Hantengu, saving the day. Now, here's a crucial question. Without Nezuko being a demon, Muzan wouldn't feel the need to reveal himself, especially with two sun-breathing users in the Demon Slayer Corps, one of them looking just like Yorichi. So how would they defeat Muzan? Or would they even defeat him? Now, we have two possible scenarios for how this story could end. The first one is darker, where they never find Muzan because he never reveals himself. He'd wait over a century, ensuring that the sun-breathing users die off naturally. After all, he only revealed himself in the original story to try and consume Nezuko and gain immunity to the sun. As the generations passed, Muzan would roam freely at night, long after the Kamadu siblings are dead. However, Tanjiro and Nezuko would pass on their knowledge, teaching the next generation all about sun breathing and the Demon Slayer mark. So, even if Muzan doesn't lose directly to the Kamadu siblings, he'd eventually face their disciples or descendants. This scenario is kinda sad because Tanjiro and Nezuko wouldn't can get the satisfaction of avenging their family against the one who killed them. In the second scenario, things get more intense. Muzan would hatch a plan to wipe out the entire Demon Slayer Corps once and for all. Before I tell you this plan, keep in mind we're taking a big risk if Muzan is watching this video. But if you've made it this far, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Muzan decides to attack the Demon Slayer Corps to eliminate them for good, ensuring there are no more threats. Tanjiro, Nezuko, and the other Hashiras would be in deep trouble, especially since they wouldn't have Tamayo's poison to weaken Muzan. The basis of that poison was created to cure Nezuko, but here, since she isn't a demon, they aren't collecting anything to help Tamayo. The Demon Slayers would stand no chance against Muzan, except for Tanjiro and Nezuko, the sun-breathing users. Could they manage to stop him once and for all? Muzan arrives at Kagaya's mansion and transports everyone to the Infinity Castle. This time, he doesn't hide in his cocoon, facing the Hashiras and Slayers head-on. Each one takes on their opponent, while Tanjiro fights Muzan alone. With Muzan's whips thrashing through the castle, Tanjiro, struggling, awakens the transparent world, improving his performance in the battle. While Tanjiro holds off Muzan and waits for reinforcements, Nezuko is thrown into a room with Shinobu. The two of them battle Doma until reinforcements arrive. Doma is poisoned by Shinobu, and in the desperate situation, Nezuko also awakens the transparent world and, with Inakami Kagura and her Demon Slayer mark activated, slices through Doma's neck, taking down Upper Moon 2 with Inosuke and Kaneo's help. They quickly head to Tanjiro, who's on the brink of death after being poisoned by Muzan. Before Muzan can land the final blow, Nezuko steps in, slicing off his arm, while her Demon Slayer mark shines brightly. Shinobu seizes the opening and injects all of her poison into Muzan, weakening him even further. Then, the other Hashiras arrive. Muzan is stunned to see that more than half of them are still alive, and that all the Upper Moons are dead. While the Hashiras try to handle Muzan, Shinobu attempts to heal Tanjiro, who is unconscious. He has a vision of the creator of sun breathing and realizes that the technique he and his sister use is only a copy. When he wakes up, Tanjiro can perform all the original forms of sun breathing, including the 13th form, created specifically to kill Muzan. He quickly explains the technique to Nezuko, who masters it right away. Now, the two siblings, incredibly powerful, face Muzan together, dominating the fight until sunrise. However, as in the original story, in the last moment, Muzan injects all of his blood into Tanjiro to turn him into a demon. But without a cure, who will save him? Will Nezuko have to kill her own brother? No way. Nezuko won't let that happen. She supports Tanjiro as they fight together against Muzan, preventing the demon from touching Tanjiro. When the sun finally rises, Muzan disintegrates, marking the end of his reign of terror and losing to the very Slayers he despised so much. So did you like the video? What would you change? Drop a comment down below, and I'll catch you in the next video, or in the one popping up on your screen right now. With that said, see you next time.